everybody. How are we all doing? And welcome to Monday night's bite size. What a day! I don't know about you, but I've been watching the Boston Marathon all day, and yeah, blown away by the people who have just run that in those conditions. So hopefully, um, Sunday's not like that. But anyway, how is everybody doing? Good evening, everybody. If you're new around here, this is Bite Size. So this is the Monday live stream we do. We do 2 live streams a week. We do the one on the Monday, which is at 8 p.m. And I've got to give a shout out to Gary, by the way, for giving me a heads up because apparently this was scheduled for 7, but it's actually 8 o'clock. We're doing 8 o'clock now. So thanks a lot, Gary, for doing that. This is all about, you guys and chatting about running shoes and whatever you want to talk about on a Monday. It's me, you, and we're just kicking the can down the road. And then on a Friday, we've got our usual long run show, which is at 7 o'clock, which is with all the coaches, myself, when I'm around. And we just talk about whatever, really, a specific subject. Like this week's going to be like how to prepare for a big race, something like that. Kind of regretting having Lucas say literally 3 seconds before I came on, which is a bit of a bit of an annoying thing. And yeah, so that's where we're at. I've got to give a big thank you to everybody for tuning in live. I've got to give you a shout out if you're listening to this as you're running along. Thank you very much. We won. I was going to say a little award, but it's a big award, which is just insane. So thank you to everybody who voted and helped us win a huge award at the Sports Podcast Awards. The biggest or best, whatever they call it, number one performance, well-being and fitness podcast in the UK. I think it is, or it might be abroad. But when you see like the BBC winning on that, you're kind of like a bit grounded and think to yourself, Jesus, we're just an independent little YouTube channel and podcast. So it's kind of amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you because I didn't get the chance on Friday because I wasn't live. I was away with the kids. So thank you very much to that. Right. So yeah, how this works, you guys, we've got, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we've got a live stream chat going. So fire in your questions, whatever you want to talk about. There's a couple of things I want to talk about tonight, including the Boston Marathon and the shoes that were being worn. A little bit about Kipchoge, I think would be good to touch on. And obviously looking ahead myself to the London Marathon this weekend. Got a couple of shoes in. I think, hang on. I'm holding up to the camera. We've got the Ride 16 in the house, which is kindly sent over by the guys from Saucony. So we've done a bit of running in them already. They also sent me, the guys at Saucony, trail shoe. Hang on. And it doesn't say what it's called. Oh, Blaze TR. A Blaze TR trail shoe. I'm holding it up to the camera. Nice kind of white colorway that's going to be brown this weekend. Because Saturday I plan on going to like a traily park run. And then, oh, hang on, I just dropped the ride on the floor standing. And then after London, I'm going to be doing a lot more trail running just to get off of the roads, really. And we've got to do that biking thing as well. So there's a couple of shoes. There's another, I can't remember what they are, but they're downstairs as well. So as always, coming thick and fast. We've got a big week on the channel. We've got a cracking video. I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday, which is like the best running shoes of the year so far. I think you guys will dig that a lot. That comes out, say, Wednesday or Thursday. So check that one out. And then on Sunday is my prediction. We're talking race predictions while we're doing the race. So if you're new around here, I'm doing the London Marathon on Sunday. So I think that's it. I think you guys are up to speed. I've got to give massive shout out to Hayden and Jatilla. They've just finished the Boston Marathon. Hayden did it in 3:31, I think, which is incredible. I've actually just spoken to him. I was speaking to him before I came live on air. And that's amazing. He's nearly there to get his majors. He's got New York left, and then he's done all of them, which is incredible, really, considering his age. And then you've got Jatilla, who's also a host on the Long Run Show on a Friday. If you've not listened to it when she's been on, she's incredible. And she's just punched in, listen to this, 3:25. And she ran it in Nova Blasts, which I find incredible. So we're going to stick her in some carbon plating shoes and see what happens. But yeah, absolute machine she is. So yeah, incredible things to see from those two. So mad love to those two because they've just finished. Right, let's do some hellos and then we'll get into it. So Dawn, hello. Ralph, evening. Evening, Steve. Super excited for London Marathon. Yes, Mark's loving the new visuals. Yeah, we've had a bit of a rebrand. It was a good point actually to do that. We thought we've been thinking about it for a while, but we've just because on YouTube now you can get podcasts and the live streams and stuff on YouTube. They've got like their own section of things, so we had to do a bit of tweaking and stuff for that. So we kind of made sense to sort of tweak all of it. So that's kind of why we had to do it. What else? Gary, again, big shout out to Gary for giving me a heads up, saying it was meant to be at 7 o'clock tonight. It wasn't. It was 8 o'clock. I don't know what happened. Evening Penny. Who else? Sound of Vision. All looking good. Thanks, Gary. Evening Sebastian. Evening Barbara. Evening Gavin. Evening Martin. Chris. Apple Tree. Oh my God, there's loads of you. Right. So, evening, guys. So, yeah, get your questions in the live chat, live stream thing. And we'll come on to that as we go. So, Steve, yeah, he is thanking me for the Vitality 10K link. If you've not seen it on my Instagram stories, I don't know whether it's still available to get, but there was an offer for the Vitality 10K. If you use that link, they were giving that out for £10 here in the UK. It's a good race through the streets of London, and it's in September this year. I think that's mainly down to the Coronation King thing, and I think that's probably why they pushed that back to then. So it's now in September. So it's a good race. I know it's the same weekend as the Berlin Marathon, but if you're not doing the Berlin Marathon, maybe it's worth a go. And if you go on that link, it's £10. It's a part run link. It's not a link I'm making any money on. So, but crack on, take advantage of that. I would. Right. So yeah, big shout outs for Hayden in the chat and Jatilla, which is nice. Absolute hero. Yes, he is an absolute hero. I say that's from Gavin, and I say Jatilla just absolutely destroyed it. I don't know where that came from in a pair of Nova Blaster. Imagine running the Boston Marathon in a pair of Nova Blaster. It just shows you people that the shoes, aren't everything. And I think obviously the channels is partly built around the shoe reviews now. We sort of migrated into that area. But yeah, it just shows you that you can run anything. And again, I remember the first London I ever did was in a pair of Pegasus. So just shows you people doesn't always need spare shoes, but there was some cool shoes there. I think it was interesting to see that Kipchoge, who by the way, let me know in the chat, do you think he's now going to retire? Or was he having an off day? I don't know. Here's an interesting thing, right? Now, I don't know whether this is me just noticing something, but I noticed at one of the water stations, he knocked over his bottle and then looked to the side. I don't know whether that was a thing to his trainers or his coaches to say, I'm not feeling this, or I've got a dodgy leg or whatever. But he knocked that bottle over. He didn't take it. He deliberately went over and knocked it over. Now, whether that's because he didn't want it, it was something I just noticed, and I didn't know whether that was a sign to say, because then from that point he started drifting back. So I don't know whether that was a point. And then I saw when they finished that he was saying something about his leg or something. Maybe it was those Alpha Fly 2s that with their high arch that destroyed him. Because I thought that it was really interesting that he wasn't in Alpha Fly 3, and I saw some of the male and female athletes from Nike in the Alpha Fly 3 prototype. So I thought that was kind of interesting, right? And I don't know whether the Alpha Fly 2, no, they wouldn't be to blame. But so there's a couple of interesting things there. Say one, whether that knocking the bottle over thing was a real thing to say to his coaches, look, I'm not feeling this, I'm backing out, which happens to us all. Or was it, literally just he knocked over his bottle by accident? And I think the other interesting thing was the Alpha Fly 3, which was on some of the athletes, and he chose not to wear them, or Nike chose for him not to wear them, which I thought was interesting. The lady, now I'm going to get this wrong. I think, well, maybe I'm going to get this wrong. I think, or I've read that the lady who won, and I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I can't even pronounce Cumulus correctly. Everybody hammered me in the comments on that video today. It was brilliant. People taking life far too seriously. But she was wearing the Tri shoe from On Running. She wasn't wearing the Cloud Echo Boom 3 or whatever they called it. I'm sure that shoe that she was running is a Tri shoe. Check that out and let me know if you agree or disagree. So it was a big thing from On Running, I think, to win that. That was kind of cool. But the fact that she was in a Tri shoe, which I kind of fancy trying out. So I'm going to try out the Tri shoe. I quite fancy trying that one out now because that looked kind of awesome. But yeah, so On Running, smashing it. But it was bit tongue in cheek, I posted about the Adidas Adios Pro 3. The top 3 guys were in them, which I think says it all, and that's mainly the reason why I'm wearing them on Sunday at the London Marathon. It's not, but yeah. So there was loads of shoes on display, which was kind of cool, kind of epic. A lot of Vaporfly 3s, people in Vaporfly 3s, but yeah, the Adidas Adios Pro 3s were what seemed to be. Everybody was rocking out. Right, okay, so here we go. Martin. Evening, Chris. Hope you're ready for Sunday. I'm not running this year, but in March between 8 and 9. Okay, keep an eye out for you. I'm going to have an orange singlet on. So keep an eye out for me. You'll probably hear me before you see me, as usually the case. But thanks very much for marshalling. I'll see you between 8 and 9. Evening. I love the 8 p.m. start. Means I can put the kids to bed. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why we kind of stuck with it. Let's see how we go over the next few weeks. But if it sticks to the wall, then we'll probably keep with it. Penny wants to give everybody a shout out at the Manchester Marathon. Yeah, there's loads of people at the 40 runs. I've got to give a shout out to 2 of my clients who both came in with 15-minute PBs. So I was super proud to be coaching those guys. Absolutely destroyed it. So well done. Those Apple Tree and all the 40 volunteers who I saw. Yeah, big love to all the 40 volunteers. As always, they do an incredible job. Sebastian, have you raced an Endorphin Pro 3 and gun to your head, do you think they're actually as fast as the likes of the Alpha Flies and others, and also to the Fit-Tros? So there's a couple of questions in there. Have I raced the Pro 3? I've done not a marathon, half marathon, yes. And if there was a gun to my head, do you think they're actually as fast as the likes of the Alpha Flies? I think they're just, it's much of a muchness. A lot of it's psychological. Psychological is the right way to describe it. So I've seen Toby run a fast marathon in a pair of Endorphin Pro 3s, and I've seen Helen as well run a quick time in the Pro 3s. I'm guessing that you don't see the big elites running in them because maybe Saucony don't pay the sort of money that Nike and Adidas. I mean, that's me being cynical. But I do think they are a quick shoe. And in the right hands, they probably are just as quick. It'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it, if you put an elite runner in a pair of those. It was interesting at Boston. There was a few people in the Saucony Endorphin Elite. And there was a lot of people, a lot of the ladies in the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite too, which is kind of interesting. And to answer the last question, do they fit true to size? Yes. I found my Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s fit lovely. Here we go. What's this? Just since last week, your image is mirrored, your cap text is mirrored, and your medals are to the right. All right. I wonder how you can change that. So, I think they're all right. Maybe it's just the camera. I don't know. I don't know the how it all works with the video and stuff. Oh, look. Maybe if I do this, look. How about that? That's freaky, isn't it? Look, Ralph, check that out. So if you're listening on the podcast and you've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing, I'm mucking about with the camera. I think that's probably Toby, because Toby was the last person to use this, Ralph. And thanks for the heads up on Friday, because he did the sort of production thing that I'm using. So he probably was mucking about with settings ready for me. Evening, Gaz. Evening. What's this? I'm on run night. So just listening. Hey, Robert. Well, make sure you're safe out there while you're running along. Evening, FORDY, Nick Spacey. Nice to see you as well. Nice to see some new faces and some old faces in the chat tonight, which is great. Here we go. What's this? Evening, FORDY, you ready for London on Sunday? Don't think I am. Yeah, it's weird, Jay. I went out today and just done 4 miles, and it was like really painfully hard. And I don't know whether that's paranoia or whether I'm getting ready for London. I don't know. You just never know, do you? What you're going to wake up with on race day? Who knows what's going to happen? All you can do is train well, do your bits and bobs in your training, and then show up on race day and see what happens. I don't know whether I'm ready or not. I did find myself today getting my knickers in a bit of a twist about what to do, or what I should be doing and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully I would have calmed down by the end of the week, and that experience from running several marathons now sort of kicks in, and we take it from there. But yeah, it's a funny old thing to run in these marathons, isn't it? It's I don't know. I think because it's my sort of, I think I know it's going to be my last London realistically, unless I get in through the ballot, which is hugely unlikely. I don't take any of the club places. I never have done. So realistically, this is probably going to be my last London marathon, I guess. Unless I'm very lucky to get in another way. So it's kind of, do I go hard and try and really go for it, and then you start thinking about, am I going to then blow up at like mile 16, 18, 20 or whatever? You think about things like that, or do I just cruise about? Oh, and it's I think after running that 136 half the other day and feeling like, not that I ain't done nothing because that's a bit strong, but finishing a 136 half whilst filming and helping somebody round and talking to them literally the whole way around, you kind of think to yourself, do I have more in the tank, or did I peak that weekend? It actually, that running that time is giving me more problems than not, actually, because I'm now thinking, do I go for it? Do I don't go for it? And I don't know, just getting myself into a bit of a mess. So I think hopefully, Jay, by the time Sunday comes along, I'll be a lot calmer and a lot more at peace with what I'm going to do. But yeah, I think like you, yeah, I don't think I'm ready for it. I'm ready to run, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Does that make any sense? Simon had a good idea today. He went out and did a little run today. Again, 4 miles like me. When he went out and his Adios Pro 3, he's had his socks on that he's going to wear. So I might do that on Wednesday. I might stick on my race shoes on Wednesday, and just go out and burn 4 miles at goal pace or something like that, and just to sort of get myself set, because the lacing on those Adidas Pro 3s, that's the only thing that let it down. And you guys have been great because you gave some tips about switching out the laces on the Pro 3s. So I might do that. But yeah, I'm gonna give them a little bit of a trip out, I think, on Wednesday. I'm in London on Wednesday, so if you see me running down at the embankment, that's me in the pink Adidas Pro 3s. Right, so evening, Martin. What link didn't work? Oh, the to the 10K Vitality. It's working. I used it. It keeps crashing. Yeah, Aisha, Jatila just ran a PB, absolute machine in no blast threes. Hero. Brilliant. Yeah, 10 quid for 10K, which is amazing. Right, here we go. What's this interesting question? Max Row 5s for £73. How good of a deal is that compared to? I think it's good. I think the Max Row 5 is one of the most underrated shoes of recent times. People go, oh, it's because you're sponsored by Skechers. Some geezer today on the comments absolutely try to hang me out about, because I sell these things about Skechers because I get paid this and I get paid that. None of the videos are sponsored by Skechers. The Friday show is sponsored by Skechers, so on the podcast, but that's it. So I'm always, and this is the thing, I don't think the chap understood. I'm always going to say what I want, and I think that's why some brands don't come anywhere near me, because I say what I think, which probably is not a good thing. If I was trying to be commercial, but yeah, I'm always going to say what I want. So I don't. If Max Road 5 was terrible, I tell you it was terrible. Despite the great relationship we have with Skechers, but at 73 quid, I think that's a good deal. I have seen them cheaper though. That's the only thing I would say. I have seen them cheaper, so maybe shop about, but they are a good one. What's this? FORDY, I need you to answer a bet. What are the lyrics to the intro music? The odds on a favourite is Yo, I'm powered by this. I've got absolutely no idea, Appletree, what the lyrics are to the open to the bite-size intro. But I'm now going to check it out after this after this episode finishes. I'm now going to go and check it out. But so thanks very much. That's going to be bothering me for the next 25 odd minutes. Right, here we go. What do we got here? Nick Spacey. I just ran Manchester in Nova Blast 2s and bought some. Yeah, so there you go. How did you get on, Nick? Hope you had a good run. What would you rate the Manchester course? I've had some different messages from people. Some people were not that enthusiastic about the course. And I'll make you laugh. Actually, no, I won't spoil it, because Hayden's coming on the podcast on Friday. So tune in for that. He'll give you a full, and Jatila's on, I think, as well. Give you a full Boston debrief. But Manchester, I've had some, different opinions on the course. So I'll be interested to know. But bought some Fast R. Yeah, that's a great shoe. Fast R, fun. I wouldn't wear them for a marathon personally. I just found them a little bit too half marathon biased. They're a little bit too unstable for me. What's this? This looks like so basically, Kipchoge to retire and start a Friday not podcasting. He's, you know what? We should get Kipchoge on, friend of the show. But yeah, he's get him on. He's going to start a podcast. You know what? Fair play to him. I felt a bit sorry for him, to be honest with you, but I don't know whether, like I said to you, I don't know whether he was injured or whatever. But it was. I kind of felt a bit sorry for him, you know, out there on his own, being caught up by some of those people. It just looked sad's the wrong word, but I just felt for him a bit. You know, it was tough. And you know, speaking to Hayden, Boston's a bloody hard course, and you know, it was raining, it was cold, and it's hard, people. You know, running marathons is hard, and that Boston course looked tough. All right, and they were tough conditions. So let's see if Kipchoge sets up a podcast. You never know. Right. Evening, James. Just wondering when your review of the Ultra Olympus is coming. As an Ultra user, I'm looking forward to hearing your views. P.S. Good luck for London. Thank you very much. I've got to get some more miles in them, basically. They are a shoe that I'm wearing this week, and I'm trying because I'm running easy. I've got to get enough miles in them to justify a video. I think you guys know now, but I won't, unless there's a specific shoe that I know I'm going to get a load of like search results on. You know, being transparent as always. I try not to just rush reviews out anymore. So yeah, so I've got to get enough miles in them to justify giving some form of opinion to you. So that could come, yeah, whenever really. But hopefully enough miles. Where am I at in them? I think I'm about 18 miles in them. So I should have enough in them this week to be able to get some thoughts down on the Olympus. But they're so comfortable. They really are really comfortable shoe. Yeah, so my initial thoughts are it's really comfortable. But let me put a few more miles in them, and then I sort of let you know. All right. Okay. Here we go. This is good. Is that a good phrase time to qualify for London? I'm not sure about that, John. In terms of his London qualifying times, don't forget he is 72, Hayden. So I don't know whether that time qualifies him for London or not. Did he lose his bottle? I guess we're talking about Kipchoge now. No, his bottle was well, maybe his bottle wasn't there. But he definitely knocked over a bottle at one of the aid stations, and it was really weird because he did that, looked at somebody, and then sort of that's when he started to slow down. And then, as I said, when he finished, he was pointing or made some reference to either his foot or his leg. So I don't know. Listen, I'm probably making it up and talking absolute nonsense, but it was just a funny thing to see. You know, he's usually on point with his hydration and his nutrition, and it just looked a bit weird. Here we go. Well, evening, Jason. Took your advice on the Saucony Tempest, loving them. Yeah, they're a great shoe, the Tempest. I can't wait to see what they do with Tempest 2. I'm hoping it's not just a update to the upper, which is basically what they've done. Hang on, I'll get them again. Which is what they've done to the Ride 16. Is the upper. Now, don't get me wrong, the Ride 16 upper, I think it's really nice and it's sort of premium feeling. And I'm holding it up to the camera if you're listening to this on the podcast with some nice suede additions and things like that. It's a really nice shoe and the upper's great on it. But I just hope that they don't do that to the Tempest. I hope with the Tempest they go mental and put like a TPU plate in it or something crazy like that. That would be awesome. If they did something like crazy like that, wouldn't it? Just to start like freak us out and put a plate in the Tempest and make it even lighter and strip it right down. Something along the lines of like the Propel version 4, but like with a Tempest. I think that'd just be awesome. So let's hope that's what they do. But yeah, it's a great shoe. I know some people have complained with the Tempest about the high arch on it. So it's not for everyone. So yeah, have a look at the Puma Forever Run Nitro if you can't get on with the Tempest. That's a great shoe, that really is. I think it's one of the best shoes of the year so far. Gary's in the house. What's Gary up to? I ran my first marathon, including all of my training, a pair of Asics GT 1000s at 3:37. Gary, you're my hero because those things are like running on concrete. Well done, running on the Asics GT 1000. There's a thing, people. That's what I said about Jatila. She ran a 3:25 Boston Marathon in a pair of Nova Blast 3s. What an absolute machine. Imagine if she had a pair of Alpha Flies on. Love my Nova Blast 3s. Just bought some Saucony Pro 3s for my Derby Marathon, but seeing the results, they make me want Adidas Pro 3s. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a bit of FOMO, isn't it? Because everybody was running in Adidas Pro 3s. But don't forget, those people are paid to run in those shoes. Okay. So the money talks at the end of the day. As I said, I guess if Saucony had really deep pockets, then probably most of those runners would have been in the endorphin elite, right? So that's the thing. But no, we all know how good the Pro 3 is, but the Saucony Pro 3 is just as good. It really is. But the Nova Blast 3 is a good shoe. And we put a video out on the, get ready for it, the Cumulus, whatever you want to call it. And that's a sort of halfway house. And I described it in the video, I think, between the Nimbus and the Nova Blast. So if you're thinking, where does that fit into my possible rotation? What sort of shoe is this? It's between the Nimbus and the Nova Blast 3. That's where I would put it personally. But the outsole's not very good in the rain, just as a heads up. Mark, good to see you on. Yes, good to see you as well, Mark. On Saturday, I was in the Staffordshire. Was I in Staffordshire? Yes, Staffordshire. And the Speed Beast, which is what I was wearing on Saturday, did survive to live another day. But yeah, love the Speed Beast. Great show. Here we go. Gaz Morris ran my first marathon in Manchester yesterday. Managed 2:59. Wow. Love the shoes. That's amazing. Well done, Gaz. Smashing it out in the Adidas Pro 3s. That's a cracking time. This is unbelievable. Paul, welcome. First time watching live. Not found the long run. Not found the podcast. It's hard to listen to anything else. Still working my through. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is the Monday show. So this is we used to get a lot of questions about running shoes and things like that on the main. Let's call it the main show. It's not, but on a Friday. So it made sense to kind of split it out and then hang out with you guys and talk about anything, running shoes, what's going on in running, or not even running related. I don't really care, but a little bit more YouTube focus as well. Some of the stuff on the channel and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you enjoy it. As I said, I can't believe that we just won that award. That really is amazing. So thanks to everybody who, like Paul, listens to it and obviously tunes in live and watches these. Ralph's back. Where are you, Ralph? Kipchoge slowed down. Slowed down to 5 minutes 14 per mile. That's mental, isn't it? To put into perspective for our everyday runners. I know it's crazy, right? I'm going to try and run London. I'll probably start off at between 8 and 8:15, get into that sort of groove if I can, and see where we go from there. It's 3 minutes per mile quicker. That's just mental, isn't it? If you think about it, it's absolutely crazy. Right. Scott, evening, Scott. Took your advice from last Monday and got the £27 Nike singlet. Stupid got white. Ooh, I won't win the marathon, but I want to wear a t-shirt competition. Yeah, I might as well. My moves. But yeah, so at 27. I think there's like 25% off Nike as well at the moment. So if you're after a singlet, I don't know the name of the singlet, what it is, but it's like the one that was £27. It's orange, so whatever. But it just looks thin. It looks comfortable. It looks oversized, which is what I like from a vest. And we'll go from there. But yeah, good luck, Scott, with your wet t-shirt competition. Camera's back to normal. There we go. Thanks, Gary. Where we got here? Robert Smith. Manchester blew me away. What a great city. Yeah, I've had really positive comments and feedback about the Manchester Marathon as a show, as an event. But apparently, some people have then said that the course wasn't all that, and it wasn't Simon. So don't start jumping all over him if you're from Cambridge. But yeah, some people weren't that keen on the route, but other people seem to like it. But the whole event seems to have been positive, I would say, in terms of the takeaway. Right, what else? Just go and enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's the thing, Chris. It's it's going to be the sort of last time probably to do London, unless I said I'm dead lucky in some respects. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Where was the Vitality London 10,000 again? The link is on my Instagram, FORDY_runs. You can get it for 10 quid. Maybe you can't. Mark, the Vitality is now sold out. Back to 49 quid. Boo. I think they should be 10 quid anyway. If they can do it at 10 quid, it does make you wonder why it's back to 49, doesn't it? Really? If they're doing it at 10 quid, it is a bit strong, I think. Apple Tree, good point. Well done, Apple Tree. Remember to everybody to hit the like button. Apparently that really helps. And thanks very much to all our members who support the YouTube channel. You can join 40 Runs YouTube channel, and it basically just supports the channel, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, so thanks very much, Apple Trees. Everybody, just take a second and hit that like button. Apparently, it helps. I've got no idea. Right, here we go. Any tips, Lauren? Welcome to the show. Any tips for coming back after a DNS? Been managing a quad strain for the last 10 days and eventually had to decide not to risk Sunday morning. Yeah, there's no point risking it. If you've got some sort of strain or whatever, you've got to live to fight another day. I would physio that, osteo that, get that back straight, come back really easy, come back, gentle. Whatever your next goal is in mind, work back from that. So whether it's an ultra marathon, I don't know, maybe you want to go and do Berlin or whatever, and then basically work back from that. But get yourself conditioned, get yourself right, get yourself running free and easy and pain free, more importantly than anything else, that you're not risking to do any further damage to that quad, and then slowly build up, get the strength working, get in the pool maybe between now and then. Yeah, like so Jatila, for example, she's been in the pool, she was saying. I think, and riding a bike, but she just ran 3:25 at Boston, and she was a slight injury, and I swear she said she was in the pool. So that kind of stuff, work on that and get stronger, get physically stronger. So then when you do come back, you're in a much better place. Here we go. What's this? Here and further. Vaporfly 2 update. Getting more out of them by changing my foot strike on different runs makes a massive difference. Yeah, the foot strike on the Vaporfly will make a big difference. I think I said to you the other week, if you are a heel striker and you're mid to heel striking in the Vaporfly, it can become very unstable, which is why I won't wear version 2 or version 1 in a marathon. Version 3, on the other hand, is slightly different. I got a different feeling from that shoe when I ran it on that 16-mile training run. I've got a slightly different feeling from the shoe. So it'd be interesting to see how I get on with them over the summer and whether then we put them into the autumn marathon. Let's see what happens there. But yeah, definitely very sensitive to foot strike, the Vaporfly 2s. But don't forget, they're built, they're supposedly set up for elites, right? And, so you've got to bear that in mind. And Zoom X is very soft. Okay, here we go. Adidas Pro 3 top 3 justifies my purchase of another pair 100%. Make sure you tell your other half, Nick, that was why you bought another pair. Is it me or is Adidas bringing out some banging colorways? Yeah, I couldn't agree more, actually, Nick. I think Adidas at the moment, or Adidas, are up there in terms of colorways, with probably on their own. The mint ones and the red ones, and they've got some gold going on. They're just amazing. They really are. I'd love to know who that person is who's coming up with these colorways, because some of the other brands out there definitely need to have get that person in the house. Like they do with the F1. They go and hire all like the other engineers from different teams. You need to find out who that person is at Adidas, get them to come and work for you, or I'll do it. I won't charge you that much, but just whatever. Just we'll come to an agreement. You maybe want to sponsor the Bite Size Pod on a Monday. But yeah, I'll come up with some amazing colorways. Let me know in the comments what you think the best colorway is that you've seen on a running shoe. I really, really like that mint Adidas Pro 3 that they came out with. I really, really did. I saw again another picture of the Prime X2, by the way, today, which blows my mind how big that thing looks. It's going to be massive, the Prime X2. Yeah, it just looks insane. I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but it looks huge. And that was in a white colorway. It had the strung upper, obviously. But it looked massive. That shoe looked massive. Oh, let's check this out. Listen, hi from South Africa. Wow, that is amazing. Sketches not out in South Africa. Whoa, we could change that. You never know. I could become like a brand ambassador for Sketches in South Africa and have to come out there on several trips, play some golf, do some running, stuff like that. How cool would that be? Learn to surf, get eaten by a shark. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? All paid for by Sketches. How cool would that be? But thanks very much for the love. If you can't get Max Road 5 or 6, maybe in South Africa it's quite warm, but check out the Nimbus 25. Just as comfortable. Really is a good shoe as well, but it's got a warm up. That's the only thing I would say about the Nimbus 25. Someone I follow was a pacer for Manchester, ended up in the medical tent. This was a big pothole. Oh, geez, sorry to hear that, Steve. Whoever that is, let me know. We'll give them a shout out on Friday. That's annoying. That really is annoying. I hope they're okay. Andrew in the house got a sub 4 yesterday. Well done, Andrew. I tell you what, I think that's you know, as an everyday runner, I think that's one of the hardest things to break through to is like a sub 4 marathon. I know so many people dream of it, and it's so hard. I know so many people just like dream of doing a marathon, but like then to run a sub 4, I think it's like the holy grail for everyday runners because it can be really tough to get mentally through that. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. Hard marathons are hard, people. Just ask Hayden; he'll tell you today. 40, you need to get Kipchoge if 40 runs top. He might make him run. Yeah, we'll get him a top. He'd love it. Imagine him in the 40 runs top. We get him on. But mind you, I don't think Koros liked me very much. So it's unlikely to happen. Here we go. What's this? Manchester was fun. Quiet in some places and rocking the others. Not as flat as I expected. Yeah, some people have said it was not as flat as they expected. I don't want to use the word hilly because we get shot on 40 runs after Simon described Cambridge as hilly. But yeah, it was not as flat as people say. But you know, what marathons are really flat. I know Rotterdam, I think, is flat, but you know, there's always going to be some elevation, isn't there? Really. Here we go. Uh, Total contradiction to that. Manchester Court is very straight, but it is a PB machine. So envious about London. Lots of luck. Reverse split it. So it's a different opinion on Manchester, but it's saying a reverse split London. Yeah, I am tempted. Do I go like run it at like 150, and then sort of negative it and see if I can go deep? It is tempting. Or do I go out and go, set off at 3:30 pace and try and hang on for a dear life and wait till I blow up and then sort of get across the line? It's a funny one, isn't it? As I said, it goes back to that point where I was trying to make. I was dead set on just cruising about. But when you run a 136 half, for me, it's sort of where'd that come from? I was chatting, filming the whole way round, and like felt not like I hadn't done nothing because that's too blasé, but I didn't feel like I'd run a hard race. Maybe that's a good thing, but then it gets you questioning yourself. Well, should you push on or should you kick on in London? So that's the thing. You know what I mean? Right. So, liked your video about the fuel cell prism. Yes, check that out, Matt. If Mark Langhorn, thank you very much. If you've not seen it, I did put a video out about the New Balance Prism version 1, which was a bit of a love letter to that shoe, let's say. Here we go. You're describing endorphin speed but stable. Yeah, Sebastian, it's a good point. Here we go from Pat. I always have running ASICs. We'll be running London at the weekend in the Tri-Noosa 14s. Hardcore. Any ASICs in the same vein as the Alpha Flies? A lot of love for the Metaspeed Sky Plus. A lot of runners in that at Boston today. That's a good shoe. I know Kafuzi loves them. So I would check out the Metaspeed Sky Plus. You've got the Metaspeed Sky Edge, which apparently is a little bit more stable, according to Kafuzi. He was saying about that the other day to me. But I would definitely check out the Metaspeed Sky Plus if you like your ASICs. Here we go. What's this? That's a good video I did. Get you till well, we have spoke about it, so that could be coming. So hold tight for that one. Good evening from Spain. Listen to this. Let's go. I listen to you, 40. Manuel, thanks very much. And thanks very much for commenting on all the videos. I really do appreciate it. Mad love to you. Hi, Chris. I have the Adios Pro 3s for a couple of months and got injured. Oh, no. Turns out from the shoe itself. Oh, blimey. Gave myself lots of pain in shin and ankle. Gutted. Okay. It's not going to be for everybody. Then I would look for something else. But how do you know, out of interest, how do you know that the shoe was to blame? Out of interest. I'd be very, yeah, I'd love to know about that. Was it an osteo that told you that? Or is it a physio? Or very interested to know how, what happened to that. Yeah, very interested to know. Here we go. Craig, I've got the Metaspeed Pro and the same thing. Back to the Vaporflies we go. Okay. If it works, it works. Andrew saw lots of people do 40 runs vests. Yeah, that's cool. Manchester. See you, Sturge man. See you Sunday, Chris. Come on, you suppose. I can't talk about football at the moment. I'm the last thing I want to talk about is football at the moment. I'm so disheartened about football. Here we go. Super Blast is the Super Blast. No, I would say the Nimbus 25 or the Skechers Max Road 6 are the most comfortable shoes I have. You can cruise about in them and you can just run in them all day. And the Nimbus 25 is warmer than the Max Road 6. The Super Blast is probably the best running shoe I have at the moment. although it's going to be retired on Sunday. And the reason that is because it is so comfortable. I know I just contradicted myself, but it is so comfortable to go long in. Okay. And it's the upper on it is, I found, breathable over the winter months. Although Toby ran his the other day and he's found them warm. So it'd be interesting to see what they're like in summer marathon training. But I just really, really enjoyed running them through marathon training on the miles. They just seem to soak up the mileage really, really well. I found the high stack stable, which is unusual for me, and they just really, really worked. It doesn't have a plate in it, and I just found the whole shoe setup really worked for me. The only thing on that shoe is the outsole. The outsole's terrible. That's the only thing. Right, I've got to spin through these because we've got not long to go. What do we got here? Man, Super Blasts have finally arrived. Should I wear them for London? That's a late call. That really is. I wouldn't necessarily do that. I'd probably wear on what you've been running in. Question cleaning up, as I have the Pegasus 39 in bright green, not putting them on in the washing machine. I must say, I don't know, Paul, to be honest with you. We clean the shoes when I film. I try and clean the shoes up because nobody wants to look at mud, right, or dog's poo on them. So I try and clean them up, and I just used the floor wipes, that or baby wipes as well sometimes, but try and use the floor wipes because the baby wipes, I get killed for using them all up. But I use the floor wipes to wipe them over before I film. So that could be an idea. Try and give that a go. But they're there to be mucked up, aren't they? In a way, it is what it is. Chris, I've got an 11-year-old son who wants to run the mile for his school track team. Good lad. I've got him in some Adidas SLs, which he really likes. His coach recommended spikes, but I'm hesitant. Yeah, spikes are the way to go if it's the track, to be honest with you. But I know they're really, really expensive, so I sympathies there. But I know they do prefer to run them in spikes. But they're just so expensive, which is really, really annoying. Spare a thought for Blackpool. Blackpool, yeah, we've got the Blackpool the Blackpool Marathon, sorry, this weekend. This is a cool comment. Sketchen, sorry I pronounced that wrong. Never caught an episode before. Evening to you, a live episode. That's great. I'm now speeding through the comments, people. What any recommendations for an autumnish marathon next year? Realise I don't like long runs in the cold. I mean, there's loads in it. Why not try and get into Berlin or something like that, or do one that, I don't know, expensive, I suppose, isn't it? There's loads, I think, isn't it? Haven't you got Chester and stuff like that? Or is it York? I'm no good. I'm the worst. I'm the worst person to ask about races, to be honest with you, because I can't even remember what I'm doing like tomorrow. So in terms of recommendations, I've not done any of the sort of those ones. Actually, you know what, John? The one that actually I would recommend, going back on myself, is the Amsterdam Marathon. Get yourself over there and do that. You will love it. And it ain't that expensive. And that's what I was thinking about, was cost. So yeah, Amsterdam Marathon all day long. Check out the video we did there. That was so much fun. Sketches about around London. Good luck. Don't be nervous. We're all nervous, but don't be nervous. There's no reason to be. Are there any websites using a 40 runs? I want to get another pair. The 40 runs code works at startfitness.co.uk. You're happy to use that. David just bought the Wave Rebellion Pros. Going to use them for Leeds next month. Good luck with that, David. I hope you got the right sizing on them, because I know they're a little bit cheeky in terms of sizing. I think I'm managing to get through, guys. We're gonna call it down in a minute. I managed to knock 21 minutes off last year and get under 4 hours for the first time. Well done, David. Congratulations. Who's this? Cuddles. By the way, started watching you. I've seen you on Kafuzi. A game reserve trip with the big five should be on the cards. Try and outrun. Yeah, Kafuzi is a lovely chap and was nice enough to have me on his channel, which I really, really appreciate. We need proper Skechers running shoe representatives of Soccer Limited race. Still have crazy prices. So there are two reasons. Yeah, I know the Skechers distribution is an issue. They know it as well. Last one. Evening 40, mate. Buzzing for Sunday. Hoping the rain stays away. Let's see what happens with the rain. I can't believe we've just done 45 minutes. Guys, that's amazing. That really is amazing. And before we sign off, just thank you all again for tuning in live. If you're listening to this on your run, thank you very, very much for tuning in and listening to this as you plod along, putting us in your ears. as you trot about. But yeah, that's incredible. Thanks everybody for engaging and adding some questions in. The show doesn't work without you guys tuning in live every week. We are here every Monday, 8 p.m. And like I said at the start, this one's is driven by you. And then we've got Friday, where the coaches are all on and we're talking about a specific topic. Obviously, there's other banter and things like that going on, but we try and focus on a topic. Mondays is literally just hanging out and talking about running and running shoes and whatever else you want to talk about. So if you are doing London, good luck. But I say, I am going to be live on the show on Friday, 7 o'clock. I will be on this week. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Boston and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's probably about it. So we've got where's the new outro as well, because we've got all these new graphics. I will see you guys on Friday if you don't catch that, but you are running London. Good luck. Hopefully you have a great time, and I will see you guys as well back on Monday at 8 o'clock as well. Keep telling people about it. Keep telling everyone to tune in. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.